Hey, yo, what's up? So it's the 4th of July, right? Here in Southern California, practically everywhere in the country. And we're going to get right into the video, so just stay with me. But yeah, today's the day we, declared independence, and most people say freedom, but that's very questionable. But that's not the video for today. But I do have a question. What has America done for us lately, right? We talk about, going out, barbecue, grab the charcoal, grab this, grab that, and have a good old time. But then you kind of necessarily don't get the chance to sit back and understand, why we're in such a rut, and I'm speaking on this because that's the whole topic of this video. It's a few reasons why America's falling apart here in 2025. But just starting with the 4th of July, you have to sit back and be like, man, why am I getting ready to celebrate this? You're gonna hear the fireworks, you're gonna hear that shit all night long, depending on where you live, right? People are just gonna go they're gonna go berserk about this shit. Blowing up M80s, Roman candles, just going stupid, man. It's another media relation holiday, right? You're just supposed to go out, spend a bunch of money, hit this sale, hit that sale, buy this, buy that, and all because of the independence or the declaration. It has nothing, and that's the shit that has nothing to do with anything, so it's always a agenda on specific holidays. But what I'm saying is that we don't know, or I don't know why we're celebrating this shit, because last time I checked, when I go to the grocery store, I can't leave out with 4 or 5 bags of groceries with $100, right? So when we talk about celebrating America, why? You understand what I'm saying? But let's get into it, man. So a few reasons why America is falling apart in 2025. Right. So, and I just kind of touched on that, guys. Your dollar is not moving, it's not stretching, after you get paid, man. It's the decline of the dollar, man. And it's been coming down since 1971, since Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and it's been falling. It's been not holding up. So like I said, when you go around and you're paying for different things, the shit that used to cost $20 is now $50, and it's like, you could tell the difference. You guys remember when you used to have a $100 bill, and you was like, damn, I got a $100 bill, like, this shit should hold over for a minute. Man, if you take a $100 bill out, or if you got $100 in your account, you're in trouble. That. And it really depends on what situation you in. If you doing the check to check and things like that, which majority of people are, you're like, shit, I'm in trouble with $100. But like 10, 15 years ago, if you had $100, you'd be like, man, I might, I'm gonna let this ride out, but nah, not no more. Right? So it's a sad reality, but our money is not, what it used to be. It's not growing. It's not able to prolong and be in our accounts for a stable amount of time, without us, looking at the decline of our bank accounts, right? And that goes to say, more people are moving out, right? That's the next thing. People are leaving this country. They talk about, well, let's go celebrate 4th of July. People are leaving the country. They're going to different places, man. Like, these El Salvador. Salvador is improved, and they've, built a modern society, and people are headed over there. Different parts of South America. Places in Asia. Things like that. And that if you do bring the dollar to that side of town, or not that side of town, but that side of the world, that the money is going to stretch longer. You're going to pay lower, costs for everything. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But at the end of the day, your dollar in which you work for is going to hold up, and you're going to see much more value from that, right? But not here, not in America, right? Every time you get paid, you're sweating bullets and shit, because you don't know when that unexpected expense is coming. And we all know about the emergency fund and all that shit. Yeah, you can have an emergency fund, but that shit's gonna start dwindling at some point in time, because we can't stop life issues from happening. That's why it's very important that our economic system needs to be at a way better standing, but it's not. So that leads me to my next point. $37 trillion in debt. Excuse me. We are $37 trillion in debt right now as a country. We owe this country, we owe that country, and we are not only owing money, but we're setting up different policies and bills that are stealing. They're stealing from the people, the very people that built the country, which is the American citizens. They're creating these bills. They say, hey, look, you guys were once getting food stamps, right? Not no more. You don't get no food stamps no more. Now you have to go out and make an extra $500-600 in US dollars in order to pay for the high ass groceries. For the single mother, for the single father, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. So when you talk about celebrating, they ain't celebrating shit. Most people right now got to go to fucking work, and they gotta make some extra. They gotta use this shit as what they call double time. Ain't no celebrating shit. Ribs are like $100, right? Burgers are $30. Man, back around this time in the summertime, about 15 years ago, you could grab some burgers, this, that, and the third, and you could have a whole little thing. Not no more, because that dollar don't stretch no more, right? And it's like I said, it's a sad reality, but that's the reality that we're in right now. America is tanking, and people are watching it slowly tank right before their eyes. Now, you probably got some people that's saying, well, we're America, we're better than the majority of countries. And my reply to that is, not exactly, right? We got a lot of crime. We got mass, bop, right? We got, people unaliving themselves because of depression and the economic system that we're dealing with. We got totalitarian dictators that want to put people in different positions in order to get a power and control by war tactics. So you tell me how different we are from those other countries. Yeah, here in Southern California is very nice when it comes to the weather. When it comes to Mother Earth, what we should be celebrating. Mother Earth. Not some made up declaration and man-made bill. Because if you ask me, nobody's following that shit. Let the pride go, let the ego go. No one's following that. People have lost faith in this country 10 times over. But just wanted to let you guys understand, a few reasons why, that this is happening. And like I said, America is falling apart, man. And all we can do is do our part like we've been doing, building the society, contributing, waking up every day, clocking in, clocking out, and, making this place go. But DC government has to do their part, which they have not ever done their part. And we'll see what happens, man. But if my thoughts align with your thoughts, like and subscribe. It's a small channel, but we plan on doing very big things, right? And if you plan on not celebrating 4th of July, put in the comments, not celebrating 4th of July, all right? But that's all I got for you. You know who it is. It's the voice of the people always, and I'm out.